Hi everybody, it's Kathy. Welcome back to the Clarity series. I offer these videos to help anyone get more clarity in their life. So today we're going to talk about getting a yes or a no. So how you can get a clear answer when you have a decision to make in your life. So if you've got a fork in the road, or maybe you've got 5 forks, and you're trying to decide which direction to go, or whether to take a leap or not, things like that. I'm going to share just a bit about how to get that clear answer from your intuition. So, I think so far we've talked a lot about getting clear. I've done a lot of videos about staying in your presence and really not thinking and just being in your presence, your isness, your awareness, the now moment, to allow the energies to work for you, really allowing your energy field, your mind, and your body to clear up on its own. So that's wonderful. Getting clear is very important. And then, of course, staying clear, which I've done a lot of breath videos, of course. So how breathing can help you clear out, stay clear, stay really grounded into your presence, your isness, your awareness, and your knowingness. But what happens like when you need to make a decision in life? So let's talk a little bit about your heart versus, not against, but your heart, the information that comes from your heart, your soul, your spirit, your intuition, from God, from the universe, from your divine wisdom, whatever you want to call it, the true messages that are coming for you, for your highest and best good. You've got that. And then usually you've got kind of like this sometimes alternate information coming from your ego, from your conditioning, your fears. A lot of times that ego, the things that seem to go against your wisdom, that don't seem in alignment with your wisdom, a lot of times that comes from your comfort levels. You could call it fears, resistance, things like that. So how do we get that clear answer so that, you can really propel yourself to go forward? For me, it's like I can definitely think of a lot of decisions that it took me quite a while to take the leap because I got glimpses of clarity, but then that old little voice would come back in and kind of start to poo-poo on my clarity, doubting, questioning, what if you're wrong, or maybe that's your ego wanting you to take this leap, So there's all these old voices that really want to keep you in your old patterns, in your habits. So the ego, the human, the survival levels, they just don't like change, okay? It's very threatening. And so when you have that really good, clear answer, it can be a lot easier to take a leap or to make a change. And then to make a change with confidence. So like when you do take a leap or make a change, you're just like, I got this. I know this is 100% where I'm supposed to be. Instead of being like, well, I'm not sure, but I'm going to try to go this way. That's okay too, and I've done that like a lot of times, but having like a real clear knowing is pretty powerful. So it is empowerment that I want to share. So, okay, let's go back to the head and the heart. The ego, or your spirit, your soul, your intuition, they are at times two opposing messages. And quite often, if you are doing the kind of work that I do or living the life I live where you're always realigning with that highest wisdom, you're going to come into a lot of resistance and a lot of old voices, a lot of old fears. And being able to navigate that and just keep getting clear and hopping into the next new thing is amazing. And that's where, pretty soon it just becomes natural. But how do we get there? So your heart, your spirit, your essence, things that are true, that are, like the highest truth, that are really true, from your highest wisdom, it's always going to be coming from love. So, it's coming from inspiration, from joy, from love, things that are going to benefit you long term, even though sometimes short term it might seem like a sacrifice. And that's where that other voice comes in. But it's going to be the voice of love. I'm going to call it that. Now, the old stuff is the voice of separation and survival. So it's the voice of fear. So just to make things simple, I'm going to tell you you've got the voice of love and the voice of fear. But the fear voice, the ego, well, you created your own ego. You made all these decisions. It's been with you your whole life. It's been your best buddy, and it knows you inside and out. So it knows all your buttons. It knows all your little, the Achilles, the little weak points. So it knows where to kind of hook you in and pull you back and pull the wool down back over your eyes once you get clear. So it's important to be able to discern that. Okay, back to love or fear. Try to stay on track here. So what I like to use for a yes or no, and I've done this a million times over, is my body. If you've ever heard of muscle testing, it's often referred to as applied kinesthetics or kinesiology. Homeopathic doctors and naturopaths sometimes use it, and a lot of energy practitioners might use energy testing or muscle testing on your body. And it's pretty cool because your body simply knows when it's in truth. So you can muscle test your body and say, my name is Kathy, and the energy stays strong in this body because this body's name is Kathy. And if I say, my name is Bob, the energy will go weak. So it's a very easy way of testing things in the body. And your body is your instrument for this life. When people say go with your gut or how does it feel in your heart, your body is your best tool. It's really like a built-in tool. You've got the breath here, and then you've got your intuition built into your body. So I started with muscle testing. I'm thinking back to, around 2014, 15, when I really started playing with this. I would do it every day for all of my foods, for all my big decisions. I just started doing it constantly until what happened was I began to feel it in my body, and then it went from that to just a direct communication. So today, for example, I was talking about foods, like when my body wants more water or protein or exercise, I just know it instantly. Like the communication went from being this far away where I had to really work to connect to being seamless. So this technique, I guess you could say, that I'm about to talk about, you can use this for decisions in your life. You can use it for what foods to eat. It really can be like your guidepost for everything. And it also begins to grow your, from your intuition into knowingness, where there's no need to feel into anything. You just know before you even need to ask the question. Basically, it's the knowing that comes from within you. So it's very powerful. But I will say it does take your practice. It's like a muscle that you build. So the muscle testing, I'm not going to go into it because that would just take forever in this video. You can Google it, muscle testing. What I started to do initially was I used a pendulum, if you've ever heard of that, like dowsing or pendulum. And then I very quickly realized, number one, it could be affected by outside energies. Number two, I came into the solid choice that I wanted everything to come from within, that I knew that all the knowing was within me and I didn't need any external tools. So from the pendulum, I went into muscle testing. There's many things you can do with the arm test. If you're doing it on yourself, you can do a sway test. So you can Google that, research it on your own. But I did sway testing for a while when I was in the store I'd be looking at vitamins, for example, when my body was rebuilding from being diagnosed with things like rheumatoid arthritis, for example. I had pain all over years ago, and my body did go through a rebuilding phase where it asked for certain vitamins and nutrients just to help rebuild more quickly. A lot of protein, a lot of things to help for, like cellular rebuilding. And so I would stand in the grocery store and look at the certain things, and I would relax. Usually for me, and it's different for everyone. That's why you have to work with your own body. But a lot of times my head or eyes would go to a certain section, and I might get a kind of that intuition. Or I might have heard something from someone. I might have. So I'd go to the grocery store, and let's say there were 2 or 3 products that I was considering. I would do the sway test. I would relax. I would pick one, and I'd say, this is the product that my body needs, and I would get that sway. Okay, that's long, long time ago. Eventually, what I did was went into being able to feel the answer inside of myself. I'm very clairaudient, so by this time I was having chats with the archangels, the ascended hosts, my higher self, whatever, the rest of myself that hadn't embodied yet, but I wanted to bring this in through my body, not just through hearing. So this is where, I put on my website, just to have a name for what I do, embodiment guide, because it really is about bringing all of your essence, your spirit, your awareness, your light, and your energy into your body. Because when you are fully in your body, there's no seeking to get answers. The answers are actually within you. So I did this sway testing until I was able to get the answers within my body. And how did I do that? Because that's where I want to bring you today. Just to give you a little backstory on this, kind of for people that maybe haven't been exposed to it or whatever. I went into the feeling of a yes or a no. And it couldn't be more simple. It just never ceases to amaze me how many complex things are out there about everything, about life and how to live a good life and healthy life and blah, blah, blah. And when you get on the spiritual journey and all this, the most beneficial tools, the most practical wisdom is always so simple. So, to feel the yes or the no in your body, if you are not proficient at this, let's go through it. So going back to love or fear, and you want that love choice because it is coming from your soul, your essence, that is only ever going to guide you into things that are perfect for you. And a lot of times, just so you know, when you are making these leaps into following your heart, many times it will not make any logical sense to your mind. It just might not seem to add up, but you don't know what you don't know at that point, okay? So when I make decisions today, I've gone for years now, I've been in a place of there aren't decisions that are made through the analytical mind. I don't sit down and make a list of pros and cons, any of that kind of stuff. I go in and I ask to be shown. And so everything I do is led from my true essence, from my universal wisdom, my source wisdom. And it is often, and we'll say very often, that I don't exactly know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Even the work that I'm doing today. Some of the things I created a year ago or 2 years ago, now I'm going, oh, that's why I created that, right? So there's a lot of trust that goes into this. But the more you trust, I will say, the more spectacular the surprises are. Because your soul, your essence, your heart is only going to bring you amazing things. But your mind is going to It's going to question that, and it's going to doubt that, and it's going to try to drag you back. So, the voice of love, the direction of love of your heart, is always going to feel expansive, open, soft, supportive, empowering, joyful, inspired, light, intriguing. Often it'll be something new, unusual, things that take you out of your comfort zone. Comfort zones are a big key here. But the choice of the heart, of love, of truth, is always expansive. Love is expansive. That is the key here. As it expands, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter, more open, lighter, softer, sometimes more vibrant in that lightness. So that would be a yes. That's what a yes feels like. A no, on the other hand, so what does your ego feel like? What does the old fears, the old voices, what does that sound like? Or what does it feel like, though? Because we're talking about feeling. So a no, for me, and I'm sharing, again, from my experience of working with this like daily for years until it became seamless. Don't ever take anything I say as the gospel, because take everything you hear in and use your own discernment, because it might feel a little different for you. So, but the ego, fear, all that, it is contractive. So it's a feeling of contraction, of heaviness. So when the energy contracts, it becomes heavy, dense, like a ball. Heavy, dark, dense. Ugh. That's how it feels in your body, like ugh. That feeling of ugh, when you don't look forward to something, like, oh God, I don't want to go to that tomorrow. I don't want to go to that job, whatever it might be. I can remember looking at my future. I was planning retirement years ago and on track to retire quite early, and it was just like, this feeling of like, that can't be my future. It was that whole, I wasn't going, we'll say, in the direction that my soul was calling me. So when you come into your body and you feel this, I like to go into my heart or my solar plexus. So the heart is the central chakra, right? Because you got your heart and you got your upper chakras and then you got your lower chakras. So this is a nice center. So you can feel into things. It could be people. It could be, do I want to connect with that person? Do I want to take this job opportunity? Do I want to take this job or that job? Is it time to maybe leave this situation? Whatever. So all these decisions, you can go into your heart and say, all right, what does that feel like? And just feel it in your heart. Now, most likely, you're either going to feel an expansion or a contraction. But beyond the heart, I personally like to do this in the solar plexus, even, into the creator chakra, but mostly the solar plexus. In order to do that, it's important to get really clear. So, if you need to take 10, 15 minutes and lay down, if you have a lot of stuff still going on in the lower levels, just get nice and clear and open. You might want to breathe for a while till you feel kind of like a 0 point, like a neutrality. And then you just take that decision and you say, okay, show me what it feels like to do this. All right, what does it feel like to do that? Now, usually, again, I will feel an opening, an expansion, sometimes a vibrancy, like a big radiance. It might be, it's really awesome when you feel like a warm fuzzy, like just like a warm, loving feeling. These are all love, right? These would be kind of descriptions of that feeling of truth, love, your soul, source. Now, the fear, the things that are not in your highest and best good, I always feel in my solar plexus like a contraction, like like my solar plexus turns into a rock, like it's like a big heavy fist almost just sitting right there. Um, Oftentimes, it's not a yes or no. So there's a lot of things in life that the answer is like, do you want to? Um, I always feel that like a this, like it's like a waffling, kind of like a wavering feeling, like usually a isn't a yes though. If I feel a I'm like hell no. Like I'm going for a full yes. You have like unlimited opportunities in life. You know what I mean? So usually when I feel that, that's a no for me. But it might be something that you're like, I just really want to do that, and so it's not. There's no one over you telling you what you have to do. You're getting this discernment, this clarity, so that you can make informed choices. And there's times I've played with this where it's like, well, I gotta know, but I'm doing it anyway, and let's see what happens. So I'm just kind of like that though. So, so it's an amazing thing to play with. But it is something to build and grow. It's a relationship. It's a relationship with, between you, your mind, and your body. You as the essence, your body as your instrument, and now you're using your mind, you're bringing it in to create like this this process, if you will, to where it's like now your mind even understands, oh, okay, when I feel this, it's that. So you're like almost like building a program within yourself on how you are feeling your own discernment. Just a funny like thing that keeps popping up that I'm reminded to share is, so I did this, for probably every day for 6 months or maybe more with food. And I wasn't working. Well, I was teaching one yoga class a week for a long time after I quit my corporate job. And so I would do it, I would go through everything. Does the body want food? The body wants food, yes or no. The body would like more protein or more of this or whatever. And after like 2 weeks, I was eating so much food. I was just eating and eating. I was like, oh my, I can't even eat anymore. And then it was funny because I realized I was getting a yes on everything. Because the body was like, sure. Like it was not asking for it, but it was saying yes to everything because it had no problem with any of the foods. So it's something to kind of work with and play with a little bit, or you can set your own parameters. It's sort of like I said, almost like being a programmer. You are creating a program and you get to define it. You just tell your body this is what is, and your mind this is what is, and the energy this is what is. So it's like when I say this, I did set some programs in the beginning, like when I say this is the best opportunity or that's the best opportunity, what does that mean? Okay, I'm looking for what is in my highest and best good and the highest and best of all concerned. Period. For my enjoyment, for my expansion, whatever my soul says, whatever, So just be clear on what you're doing, because as you embark on these journeys of increasing your clarity, of sharpening it, you're going to find areas where you just haven't even been clear within your own communication, within yourself, within your mind, and within your body. So being clear is very important. My body knows today, and it has for years, that when I put food into my mouth, well, first of all, by the time food, is ingested, I've already repolarized it, meaning this body takes only what complements it and it passes the rest right through. That's a directive I've given my body. Your body is here to serve you. And so a lot of people will say, believe what they hear on the news or read in a magazine, and then all the information about health contradicts. It's like, well, are strawberries good or bad for me? Oh my God, I went through so many diets years ago until I realized that life is kind of like one big placebo effect. You know what I mean? So my body knows that when I eat something, first of all, energetically, I've repolarized it back to a 0 point, so that it vibrates in perfect harmony with my body. Period. End of story. So it's already been repolarized. And then my body simply extracts what it needs and what complements it, and it passes the rest right through. And gotta say, that's been working pretty good for me. So life is a bit of a placebo effect based on your beliefs. So be clear with your body, with your mind, with what you choose to believe, the thoughts that you choose to grasp onto as reality. We get to choose, you don't have control over the outside world, but what you do get to, I don't think control is the right word, but what you get to choose is your thoughts, your beliefs, and being clear in yourself what works for you. So, all right, so let's go back to the yes or no before we wrap up. So let's just do it. Let's do it together. I did create, if you find this stuff interesting, today I created a new Shavasana. On my website, I have this series of journeys, audios, meditations. I have a subscription page for $5 a month. So today I did, my new recording was called Yes or No, where we do a guided journey through your body into feeling the yes and feeling the no, where you've got that energetic support that I add and creating the nice safe space to do it in. But let's just take a breath. Come right into your solar plexus, right into your belly, into the middle of your torso. Settle in there. Just take a couple breaths and let your breath really settle. Allow your awareness to really meld into your belly, sort of harmonizing and letting your senses meld here. So you just simply feel in this very moment. Let your body come to a nice, neutral, 0 point space of neutrality. And now let's just see what it feels like. Give your body the directive. Body, show me a yes. And what's going on in your solar plexus? Does it feel vibrant? Are the particles moving faster? Is it lighting up? Does it feel soft? It's important to discover what it feels like in your body personally. I've heard different descriptions from different people, and it's all appropriate. So it's about you building that relationship within your body. All right, let's wipe the slate clean now and just say, all right, bring it back to neutral. Thank you. Things kind of settle down. And then let's just go into the no. All right, body, show me a no, like a heck no, don't go there. And how does your stomach feel? What's happening? Mine just went into a knot. All right, so that's just a quick example. If you're newer to this type of work, you might not be able to feel it as much. I've spent the last, 20 years doing yoga, which gets you into your body, but really the last, specifically probably 8-9 years, doing a lot of this where you go in and you feel and you connect. And so that ability to feel and sense really grows. That's part of the relationship, especially for your health, because, the body sends these pain signals and messages to people when they're not in their body to get you into your body. I'm not saying that's the only reason it happens or anything like that, but for sure, when you're in your body, number one, you can sense when something is off. Number two, I've had a lot of different things that went away simply by bringing my presence and my awareness into those areas. And that consciousness, that light, that energy, prana, whatever you want to call it, many things are going on, but bringing yourself back into your body allows it, gives it the energy it needs, the fuel to rebuild. And it's also not crying out for you like, hey, if you've been up here thinking all the time and you're off into yesterday and tomorrow and what's going on in the news in the world and with these, if you're out there, if your energy is out there, your body might be screaming at you like, I need you here. I need you to get in here. So the more you connect internally with your body, it's just going to help accelerate how you feel mentally and physically. So I hope this helps bring you some clarity on making decisions in your life, and from anything from what to eat to, taking a new job. So it can be used everywhere. This is a tool that, like I said, I currently, I usually just have a knowing, but there's still sometimes where things get, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to lay down, clear out, and really feel into this one. So hope you'll check it out and hope it helps you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.